Hi Year 10, this is the Victorians, or should I say welcome to the Victorians lesson 4. Don't know how much you're loving it, but we are continuing. Okay, so those of you working at home obviously are doing this, so it's in your Victorians booklet. It's task 4, lesson 4, task 4. Couldn't be simpler. This passage today is taken from a Sherlock Holmes mystery called The Speckled Band. And in it, a distressed woman has just arrived at the house of Holmes to beg for his help in solving a mystery. So we all know Sherlock Holmes, the greatest detective. So we're going to be doing some work on that. "Good morning, madam," said Holmes cheerily. "My name is Sherlock Holmes. This is my intimate friend and associate, Dr. Watson, before whom you can speak as freely as before myself. Ha! I am glad to see that Mrs. Hudson has had the good sense to light the fire." So Holmes has a sort of lady who helps him with sort of cooking and cleaning and things. And that is context, isn't it? That tells us life's a bit different because most of us don't really have that. And also the way that they speak. "Pray draw up to it and I shall order you a cup of hot coffee, for I observe that you are shivering." "It is not cold which makes me shiver," said the woman in a low voice, changing her seat as requested. "What then?" "It is fear, Mr. Holmes. It is terror." She raised her veil as she spoke, and we could see that she was indeed in a pitiable state of agitation. Her face all drawn and grey, with restless, frightened eyes, like those of some hunted animal. And remember, if you get a description of someone where you use the word like or as, so she's described as like a hunted animal, that's a simile, isn't it? And we do that so he's comparing the look in the woman's eyes to that of an animal that's being hunted. So that's a good technique, obviously, that the writer has used there. Oh, look, Toffee, my dog, is getting fed up and leaving my Victorian lesson. Come back, Toff. Her features and figure, nice bit of alliteration there, 2 Fs, were those of a woman of 30, but her hair was shot with premature grey and her expression was weary and haggard. Sherlock Holmes ran over her with one of his quick, all-comprehensive glances. "You must not fear," said he soothingly, bending forward and patting her forearm. "We shall soon set matters right, I have no doubt. You have come in by train this morning, I see. You know me, then?" "No, but I observed the second half of a return ticket in the palm of your left glove. You must have started early, and yet you have had a good drive in a dog-cart along heavy roads before you reached the station." The lady gave a violent start and stared in bewilderment at my companion. "There is no mystery, my dear madam," said he, smiling. "The left arm of your jacket is splattered with mud in no less than 7 places. The marks are perfectly fresh. There is no vehicle save a dog-cart which throws up mud in that way, and then only when you sit on the left-hand side of the driver." So we don't move around, do we? Again, that's a bit of context in sort of carts anymore. You know, you'll be more likely to be getting an Uber. So again, if you get a passage and things like that are mentioned, you know it's from sort of the olden days, don't you? So we've got this sort of woman of 30, but who looks very haggard and scared and hunted. And then we've got Sherlock obviously sort of deducing things as he likes to do. Okay, come on, Toff. Come back for the lesson. "Whatever your reasons may be, you are perfectly correct," said she. "I started from home before 6, reached Leatherhead at 20 past and came in by the first train to Waterloo. Sir, I can stand this strain no longer. I shall go mad if it continues. I have no one to turn to, none, save only one who cares for me. And he, poor fellow, can be of little aid. I have heard of you, Mr. Holmes. I have heard of you from Mrs. Farintosh, whom you helped in the hour of her sore need. It was from her that I had your address. Oh, sir, do you not think that you could help me too, and at least throw a little light through the dense darkness which surrounds me?" It's another nice alliteration there, dense darkness. Really sort of focuses on the darkness, doesn't it? The emphasis that it's so dense you can't see through it. "At present, it is out of my power to reward you for your services. But in a month or 6 weeks I shall be married with the control of my own income, and then at least you shall not find me ungrateful." So this distressed woman is saying, "I can't pay you at the moment, but I know you like mysteries, and I know you've helped Mrs. Farintosh, and I know you'll help me, and I will pay you when I'm married and I've got some money." You know, women weren't independent in those days. They didn't have their own money. And obviously having money has sort of massively changed women's lives. So again, that tells you when something's set. So again, some of the words, the language, I want you to have a look at, and you can look those up on your phone. Then you've got list 3 things that Holmes works out about the woman. So that's just simple information retrieval, isn't it? You know, what has he worked out? Well, she's travelled to Waterloo. You know, go back, you can highlight or underline what things he discovers, and you can discover those things. Then you choose 2 words that show the woman's distressed. Okay, and then try and explain them. And then you've got your usual with the structure. What does the writer look at in the beginning and, you know, the middle and the end? Remember, we do that because we're trying to get you ready for next year for your GCSEs. Okay, finally then, the last task you have to do on this is, it says, the writer succeeds in showing that the reader that Holmes is a great detective. To what extent do you agree? And how does the writer show you this? But if you could, at the very least, just try and say why you think Holmes is a good detective based on what you have read in that passage, okay? Not just what you know from films and TV and things. And if you have any techniques, for example, like questioning, like Sherlock Holmes questions the woman, or he observes, you know, what techniques has the writer used? Okay, so that's it for this week. Obviously, the link to this will be on the website, and I think it's sent to you as well. Okay, have a good week, those of you that I'm not getting to see at the moment, and hope to see some of you back in school soon. Bye.